Because jurors in this Kentucky courtroom, they listened to a confessed killer curse his way through this testimony today in the Josh Young trial. Josh Gouker is the biological father of Josh Young and has pled guilty to killing Young's stepbrother, Trey Zwicker. Prosecutors say Gouker is covering for Young, who faces a complicity to murder charge. His trial is in Louisville. It has seen its share of sordid stories, but today stood out when Gouker talked about killing Zwicker. Here he was.
Goddamn, I've lied this whole time, except for since arraignment. Since arraignment court, I've told you I've done it. I admitted everything I've done. I've been sentenced for it, life in prison. Yet here I am, going over this same story. If it says I said it, then I said it. Okay. I don't deny nothing I've said. Okay. I'm a liar, you know what I mean? But I was probably telling the truth about that. I don't know.
Okay. And
that's just didn't really mean nothing to me, you know what I mean? I was trying to get on past that day.
You told them when they got there that little Josh had confessed to you on the night of May 14th, right?
Yeah, the day. I told him it was the day I got back from talking to him because he wanted me to take a polygraph, and I knew I had convinced him during that interview. I believed he believed that I didn't have nothing to do with it.
HLN's Jane Velez-Mitchell, you have been following this trial each and every day. I mean, talk about a bleep-filled testimony. I see you shaking your head. Tell me every day is not like this.
Look, there's been a lot of monsters in the news lately, and this guy is right up there. I call him Hell Dad. He is a vicious, vicious individual who served time for armed robbery and assault, and he gets out, and he takes his son, who was thriving in a foster home, and within a couple of months, there's a murder. And the reason why his testimony is not to be believed is because he's a self-admitted pathological liar who was told many, many different stories at different times. He originally blamed this teenager's death, his stepson's death, on a group of African-American kids. And he chuckled about that on the stand today. Then he turned around and said, well, my own son actually killed Trey Zwicker, but don't worry about it. He's a minor. He's 15 at the time. He's going to get off with a slap on the wrist. Now that his son is charged as an adult and could go to prison for life, he's saying, I did it. I beat the boy to death with a pipe. I did it alone.
So how, if you're sitting in this courtroom and you're a member of the jury and you hear him tell one story and then he pulls a 180 and tells another, how do you handle that? How do you take this guy seriously?
Well, you can't. It's like the Jodi Arias trial all over again. He has less than zero credibility. And then his behavior on the stand, I mean, the obscenities and his laughing about this. At one point, he even said, you know, this is just one murder. What's the big deal? It's not a lot of people who died. It's only one person. So this guy, you know, what's really sad is that ultimately you have to wonder, will the sins of the father be visited upon the son? Even if the son did have something to do with it, given the horrific influence of this man who ripped him from a stable home and then proceeded to ply him allegedly with drugs, show him sex tapes, torture animals together. I mean, this guy corrupted his son, and whether or not his son is guilty or not, you got to wonder at the end of the day, is the ultimate guilt resting upon this monstrous man.
So where does this go next?
Well, we're going to have to see. Basically, a lot of people have said that the prosecution has presented a very weak case against the son. Ultimately, they have a word of some people who said the kid confessed to them. Now, was he bragging, trying to impress his dad, trying to live up to his dad's perverse ideals? Or was he in some way complicit? Did he help his dad, for example, dispose of evidence? We just don't know.